New boyfriend, 22M, very touchy and doesn't understand when I'm 22F, seriously telling him no. My new boyfriend is really great. He is super caring and thoughtful and respectful of me. Please don't read this and think cuck another shitty BF, because he is not the kind of guy that you think he is from just reading this one issue. So we play wrestle and stuff, which is fun, and even when I say no or stop through the laughter he obviously doesn't, because I'm just joking around. But sometimes when he's being really touchy or cuddly or initiates sex and I say no, he also doesn't get it. I mean, he won't force me to do anything, but he will just keep trying even after I say no or push him away. It's annoying because I'll tell him 10 times and it isn't until I actually have to get a bit mad before he gets it. I have sensory issues because of my level 1, mild, autism, and it's actually extremely overwhelming for me, but I try to keep it in because I don't want to offend him. I've told him I have sensory issues and that he is overwhelming me, but I really don't think he understands because I don't react the way I feel. Then, the other he started touching me and I tried to get off and say stop and no, but it didn't work. Unfortunately, a symptom of mild autism when we are overwhelmed is disassociation. I went into a disassociation episode and couldn't get out of it for an hour. It was horrible. Everything looked fake, I felt dizzy, I felt like I was in a video game, nothing felt real to touch. I was extremely anxious. He was super helpful though and didn't touch me at all and was just talking me through it. I was embarrassed, but he kept just saying he's here for me and not to worry, but I really just don't think he understood that he caused it. I couldn't speak, it was such a bad episode. I wish I wasn't like this, but I am. I also feel really bad to tell him that because he was just showing my affection. I just don't think he understands. Edit. Okay, so I understand now that it's not okay and it is intentional. I really was feeling guilty before and now I feel a bit valid for having these feelings. I also realize now that my no's should be enough. They aren't just no's either. I see now that I am communicating properly. I say no, that's not funny, I don't like that, don't touch me, stop, go away, please stop now, it's not funny anymore, and more. I do say it more casually at first, but eventually I say it with a straight face and very sternly while I push him away. I've even said how many times do I have to say no, and he said I'm cute when I'm mad. So I think he is doing it on purpose now. I know that he understands because if I say no or out during sex he stops immediately no matter how I say it. I will have a talk with him about how I'm just as serious when I say it outside of sexual contact or before sex. I think I'll try to do a safe word. We have a very jokey relationship, so I really don't think this is anything more than miscommunication. I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks. Update. This can be summarized quickly into my boyfriend is really great, except for when I revoke consent and he continues doing what I don't want him to. Is he on the spectrum as well? Either way, have a conversation now, not in the moment, about all of this. How if you said no he needs to immediately stop? If he doesn't immediately stop and or tries again, you need to get out of this relationship. It means he's not as great as you think he is. Good luck. I have an idea, start holding up fingers counting how many times you said no and he didn't listen. Then ask him why you had to say it so many times. Ask why your words weren't enough to get him to stop. Ask what it's gonna take for you to stop on the first one. Turn his shitty behavior on him so he has to confront it. Trying to spare his feelings is costing you yours. Look, a lot of people are nice when they're not doing shitty things. It doesn't mean their actions are less shitty, and it doesn't mean they can use their niceness as an excuse to continue doing shitty things. Bottom line, your boyfriend is not as nice as you think if he can't take no for an answer. It's your body, your rules. So, have a serious conversation time. Tell him he needs to respect your boundaries. When you tell him no and he doesn't stop the first time, you leave. Either leave his house or tell him to go home. Stick to it. He should learn after the first couple of times. If not, he's choosing to distress you and you absolutely should dump him for being a boss. I am on the spectrum myself. It isn't just that we have trouble reading cues and decoding facial expressions. It's that our own expressions can be hard to read too. I agree with you / quote Ofte's suggestion of a safe word. Now if that doesn't work, then I definitely have to agree with everyone else who said he can't respect boundaries. How do you feel about establishing a safe word? I think it could be really helpful for you both. If it were me, I'd just say something like, I get that sometimes it can be difficult to determine whether I'm joking or serious about wanting you to stop touching me, and even though I like playing around, it's extremely important for me to have trust that if it gets to be too much, I can say this word, and you'll stop. If he truly respects you and wants you to feel safe around him, which I don't doubt he does, I see no reason why he wouldn't go along with it. If not, then I see no reason why you should stay with him. Best of luck! Exclamation mark. Found out my girlfriend of 7 years cheated on me. Right now this my only form is catharsis. As Henry Miller once said, the only way to get over a woman is to turn her into literature. So as the title says, I found of my girlfriend of 7 years of whom I planned on purposing to next year cheated me. I'm a 33M and she a 27F for context. She had a guy friend from nursing school I never liked nor trusted that apparently she got close to. Never suspected anything, but he gave me bad vibes. But my girlfriend doesn't have a ton of friends to begin with, but my guard naturally was still up. Pre-COVID her mood changed and she was crying a lot because she told me they had a huge fight and stopped being friends, but also said there was more, but she couldn't tell me the details because it's too hard for her to tell me. Early February she started to see an OB-GYN for abdominal pains. Sometime mid-2020 she told me he attempted to kiss her, to which she fought him off and that why they weren't speaking anymore. Jump to August, the week of birthday, as I'm in my car about to leave work in the dark. Because I work overnight at a medical lab, I see someone approach her window from outside. He then turns around, crosses the street to get in his car and leave, and I confront him and ask him who he is and what he's doing there. He plays it dumb. We have a verbal confrontation, to which it took everything Buddhism has taught to not get out of my car and pummel this guy and end up spending my birthday in jail. Jump to end to September. My girlfriend is having abdominal issues again and goes to see her OB-GYN, who says whatever is causing the issue isn't a uterus issue, and that she may have an infection. As to what the doctor needs to run tests for to discern. Which brings us to tonight. She's in the shower and her phone is next to me. Temptation to prove myself wrong is overwhelming, but everything she's told me up until this point just doesn't add up. I find in her iMessages an unnamed contact conversation dating from the earliest, which is July, prior to me catching him outside her window of our home up until last Monday. Conversations here and there. I scroll to the very top and my heart sinks, confirming everything, my worst fears. Turns out he did force himself onto her, but this isn't the first time they had sex, and I cried. When she finally came back from her shower, I tried coercing the truth out of her, not letting her know I know everything, but she's sticking to her rape story, to which she is seeing therapy for. I wake up now at 4 AM because I can't sleep anymore. As she lays next to me in bed, I cry because I fear that she'll never tell me the truth until I let her know I know everything. I cry because the woman whom I've spent 7 years of my life cheated on me. I cry because the woman whom I've pleaded to make a great father to kids we planned on having together in the coming years lied to my face. I cry because I love her more than anything I've ever loved. And this hurts. I'm at a crossroad in my life. I don't know what to do. Get the screenshot, because once you leave her, if anything this subreddit taught me, is that she's gonna say he left me because I got raped, because she would rather be a victim than a cheater. So have the screenshot and tell her that you have the. So tell me the truth. If you wanna break up, tell her that you have the evidence that you cheated on me multiple times, and if you try to trick people and make up to be a bad guy, then the texts get sent. Otherwise I don't want anything to do with you. I will just say we broke up and nothing else. You already hurt me, so just leave and take it as if we never knew each other. Op, you need this. Cheaters always make up their stories to save their face. You need to record all the evidence for your own safety. I had a partner cheat on me too. This is a few years ago. We were together almost 2 years, I was madly in love and we were going to be together forever. Over the summer, I had a gut feeling that something was off. I couldn't tell what it was, but he was distant and easily annoyed with me. I probed and eventually he told me he cheated on me. To make it worse, it was with a girl I knew had a thing for him which he denied. I was devastated, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me. He was completely different to the person I fell in love with despite his remorse. If she isn't even sorry, then let her go. You'll be no better for it in the long run! Exclamation mark. Walk away and don't look back. I'm going to be very blunt with you. I am sorry about your girlfriend, but a girlfriend is supposed to be someone who you can rely on and be able to trust. You should be happier with this person in your life. To me, your life is worse with her in it. You are starting to lose your mind over whether she is cheating on you or not. This relationship is over whether you agree it's over or not. Don't think about the 7 years you spent with her. Think about your future. Are you happier being with her for another day or being by yourself and not having to worry about anyone cheating on you? Whether you agree or not, you probably are better off by yourself. This isn't healthy for your mental. Just something to think about. Clearly she doesn't regret it. She is not going to tell you either unless you put her in a corner, but either way, you already know the truth. It sucks to invest so many years with someone to end up like this, but it is necessary that you break up with her. You have to. The confidence is already broken, you won't get it back. Found out my girlfriend is sleeping with her boss. My girlfriend and I have been together for 10 years. We have 2 kids. Though I am not the biological father, I have considered myself dad for the 10 years, as the real father is seldom in the picture due to prison/lifestyle. We have had multiple issues over the years, including 2 weeks ago when I suggested that maybe we should call it quits, to which she stated no desire to give up on a 10-year relationship. She said that she did not want to leave and wanted to continue. So, I found out she is sleeping with her boss. She fell asleep with the phone in her hands and a thumb on the keyboard as if she actually passed out while typing. So when I flipped over because she was snoring, I see a message saying she can't wait until his hands and mouth all over her again. With her hands still holding the phone, I scroll through the messages and see that it has been going on for about 2 months. Lots of I love yous and actual talk of marriage. Never proper for a boss to be with his manager, but he did think she was single, not that it makes it right, just eliminating the anger towards him. I was referred to as the ex multiple times. I then grabbed the phone from her sleeping hands and nudged her several times, trying to get her to wake up and hear my disgust, but she was out cold. I then forwarded a couple of their messages to mine so that she wouldn't be able to deny their existence. Also wrote her at the time, hoping the notification would wake her or that she would see them as soon as she did wake up. Normally, she gets up a couple hours before I do. This morning, she overslept and didn't wake up until I did at 7:30. She ran out to her appointment before work, but did not talk to me before leaving. A few minutes later, she got in a serious car wreck, totaling my car and sending her to the hospital. With COVID rules applying, she noted me as her lone visitor and was called, notifying me of the accident. I rushed to the hospital, now full of sorrow as well. The sadness went away as I learned she would be okay, though in some pain, few breaks, stitches, etc. In the wreckage, her phone was lost/destroyed, as well as a lot of her memory of that morning, but not my memory of what I saw and the messages I sent to my phone. At this point I have no idea if she knows that I know. No matter my anger, I didn't feel like it was the appropriate setting to discuss all of this at the hospital, but it's eating away at me. She is still in the hospital, had surgery today, and will take several weeks to get on her feet again. My quandary is several parts. When do I confront her about the infidelity? Possible that she already knows that I know but doesn't want to talk about it right now. She is probably going to be released tomorrow. The problem with me is that I have a very hard time staying mad at anyone and often forgive things I shouldn't, infidelity being one of them. This is not the first time, though I have been 100% faithful through the relationship. I'm just a bit at a loss right now. I don't think I've ever been this ready to be done with things. I love my kids and think that them leaving will take away a lot of stability in their lives. The house is completely mine, so she would be the one leaving. More than anything, I think I'm just trying to get it all off my chest and get a little clarity before going through what is sure to be a messy breakup. I don't need to be told I'm an idiot for forgiving the prior acts and should have known this would come again. Thanks all.